Hello! Live, here we go. Hey, this is Jeremy. This is the Genesee County Compassion Club show coming to you from allpointstv.com. How's everyone doing today? John, I got John in the studio making it happen.
I'm doing really well.
Excellent, John. Glad you're here.
Yeah, rainy day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm loving the background. Looks like I'm actually sitting outside. It's beautiful. I know all you guys are loving it at the club. It's nice and bright inside there. Glad you guys are there and enjoy. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get this show started. We got lots of events we're going to be talking about. Let you know what's happening down at the Compassion Club. Also going to give you an update on what's been happening with marijuana across the rest of the country. And let's do this. Oh, man, we just had an awesome Monday. It was 7/10. A day of concentration. Did everybody get their concentration on? Know what I'm saying? I know we had some beautiful stuff down there. I think we had like 23 different entries into our contest. So that's spectacular. And I know there's some people killing it with their concentrates. I saw some amazing stuff posted. Go to our Facebook page. Have you guys been there lately? GeneseeCompassionClub.com. Genesee Compassion Club. Facebook. Yo. We got all of our important announcements on there. We got some cool photos from the party. Got photos of the cups and the trophies from the 710. I know we weren't able to actually machine test these suckers, but I know they were hand tested. All right, that's where it counts. But congratulations to all our winners. I know you guys did a great job. It's beautiful stuff out there. I'm learning more and more about these new concentrates every day. Most people know me. I'm not really a concentrate person myself. I like the flowers. I like the flavor. But some of these concentrates that have been coming out lately are packing some mad flavor. They're keeping the terpenes in there, not stripping them out. So some of us old schoolers out there that like that blonde Lebanese stuff, some of the new stuff is pretty much right on with that, and it's even more potent and even better, I guess, cleanliness, if you will. It's amazing. Great stuff. All right, so let's move on here. 710 was a blast. Thank you all for showing up and having a great time. I know B-Dogs was there making it happen. So you guys got fed well. You guys carried through the rain, so I appreciate that. And the nice thing is you did not have to swim through the parking lot, right? That's a good thing. I'm going to talk about some events we got coming up here. I know we have the G3C annual golf outing. This is a big thing that we do. It's August 26th. It is a sponsorship that we're pulling for the Roar Foundation. It's part of Hurley's medical program there, and it helps get books to kids when they're in troubled times. So this is something that's near and dear to our hearts. There is no better thing to do than help out a kid. You know what I mean? That is the best thing you can do. And we've identified that need. Roar has identified it. They've done a great job providing, this education, this material to those kids that are at the hospital, and we're very proud and privileged to be able to be a part of that. So if you could help out, join up for the golf outing. Like I said, sign-up sheets are available. It's August 26th, and we're going to be doing it out at Copper Ridge. I'm not a golfer myself. Most of you folks know that, but this event is worth going to even if you're not a golfer. The food at Copper Ridge is some of the best food in the county. The steaks are to die for, all right? They are just absolutely amazing. So you guys get a steak dinner. We're playing a scramble anyways, so you don't have to be good. There'll be somebody on your team that's good. They can carry the weight, right? All right, so we got that going on there. Make sure you guys sign up if you can. August 26th, and again, that's out at Copper Ridge, 4-man scramble. You can get all the rules and information and cost and whatnot out at the bar or see George Hernandez, all right? Next thing got going on here, I think this is, forgive me if this has already happened, but I think it's coming up real soon, is the Smoke, Choke, and Float. You guys see that? It's posted there on our Facebook page. You guys doing the River Tube cruise thing. It's an annual summer classic, so I hope you guys can make that. See George for more information. And, okay, next thing I want to talk about. This is important because we don't have much time left on it. The old club, right? The old place that we used to hang out every day. It is closing. We're done. We're moving out. And so we're having our moving sale, if you will. So check out the details on Facebook. We're going to be doing this on a Sunday, I do believe, so give you time to get out there and check it out. But everything must go, all right? No joke here. We're actually closing the building. Everything must go. So if you had your eyes on anything, whether it be some of the cabinets or some of the supplies, whatever may be left over there, if you want to have a chance to check it out, check it out. Make your bid. Everything must go. So if you guys want to get over there, please do. Check it out. It's got to go. Check Facebook for details, and we'll see you on Sunday. Okay? Next event I want to mention is our soup kitchen. It's coming up at the end of the month, of course. We definitely could use your help with that. If you guys could volunteer, we greatly appreciate it. It's the last Friday of the month, so it makes it easy to remember. I'll get you a date on that here. I believe it is July 28th. Definitely could use your help. Summertime's a hard time to get volunteers, so if you guys have a free afternoon on that Friday, you could help us out. We really appreciate it. I know the North End Soup Kitchen really appreciates us coming, and we're definitely glad to be a part of it. So help us out if you can there. Other event we got coming up here, I do believe it is the 22nd, forgive me if I'm wrong, but our Adopt a Highway. So we'll be out there cleaning again, M13. I think details for this are also posted on Facebook. We need your help, volunteers. It's just a quick, easy Saturday morning. We've already cleaned it once this year, so it really won't be too bad. But we meet out there on M13 at 10 a.m. sharp, and we clean both sides of the road from, I think it's from Potter to Beecher. But you'll see us parked out there, and we clean that sucker. We clean it, make it beautiful. It's already beautiful because we've been doing it now for like 8 years. So we're down to like old newspapers and cigarette butts. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, we appreciate it. If you could help out with the Adopt a Highway, it's definitely a privilege for us to still be a part of that. And we've got the nice sign posted on the side of the road. I think we might have one in the club too. Yeah. We need your help for that as well, okay? And it doesn't take too long. You guys, you come back to the club afterwards, we'll feed you, you have a great meal, and then you can go home and enjoy the rest of your day, okay? Or chill out at the club. You can do that too. All right, that's it for events. That's enough for now, I think, for certain. And let's get on with some news, all right? In the news regarding marijuana, of course, I want to talk first of all about Michigan. Michigan's got a legalized marijuana petition going on. And according to the latest article on MLive, they already have 100,000 signatures. So that's a pretty strong start. Of course, the Board of Canvassers, Michigan's Board of Canvassers, already approved the language, and they are out collecting signatures. They are using a coalition, the name of this is the Coalition to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol. So that's the name of it. It has received support from numerous groups across Michigan, including MI Legalize, Safer Mich, MPP, Students for Sensible Drug Policy. So a bunch of groups are endorsing this petition, so it seems that it has good language on it. Definitely something that you can endorse and support as well. Let me get you the basic nuts and bolts of what it says. This is what it's going for. Legalized possession, cultivation, and limited amounts of cannabis for adults 21 and over. Okay, so that's what the first thing it says on there is that they want to legalize possession, cultivation, and use of cannabis for adults 21 and over. Next thing is they want to legalize the cultivation of industrial hemp. Okay, a lot of us are aware of the benefits of that. We've talked about hemp extensively on this program, and the benefits to that. It's not something that you use. It's not something that intoxicates. It's something that really should have never been taken out of our marketplace. We are the only industrialized nation in the world that does not produce our own. So we import this from Canada and other countries daily. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You can go get a John Deere tractor that already has implements to harvest, plant, everything you need to do for industrial hemp. Okay, so this is nothing new, and it's insane that we don't already have it. But this law, if it were passed, would change that, and we would finally have that. All right, so we're going to legalize adult use. We're going to legalize industrial hemp. This also licenses marijuana businesses that cultivate, process, test, transport, or sell marijuana. It would also establish testing and safety regulations for retail marijuana. And it would tax marijuana at a retail level with 10% excise tax plus the additional 6% sales tax which already exist. Monies would be used exclusively to support K-12 public schools, roads, and local governments. So that's the bill in a nutshell. And if it is approved, if the petition is approved, Michigan voters would have a chance to get it in action, and it would be rolling by November 2018. So they got to get the signatures first. They've already got 100,000 collected. They are using professional paid signature collectors on this. So this is the real deal, folks. This is a good chance that you'll have an opportunity to vote on this come November. So keep your eyes open for those petition gatherers. You're probably going to see them at local events. Some of you may have seen them at the local 4th of July event that you were attending. Maybe you didn't, but keep your eyes open. They're going to be collecting signatures now, I believe, for the next 90 days at least. Let's see here. It says that they have, if it's got a time. Okay, so they have 180 days from May 26th. So whatever that equals. The language was approved for it on May 18th and became active May 26th. So 180 days from May 26th is how long they have to gather the petition. If you remember correctly, last year tried to do the same thing, a little bit different language, a little less support, frankly, and they were very close to getting this passed. This was the MI legalized safer adult use bill that we talked about. We covered that on the program here, and it actually went to the Supreme Court on whether or not they should actually count all of the signatures. And unfortunately, it was turned down by our Supreme Court, and they did not count all of the signatures due to the time limits. This one here is under the same time constraints as the previous measure was. However, it looks like they've got a lot more support and a lot more effort in collecting these signatures. So hopefully we'll get to see this choice placed before voters on the ballot in November to choose whether or not to legalize marijuana for adult use here in Michigan. Now realize there's already 8 other states that already have this. We're not first on the block. So this isn't anything new, and obviously this would be in addition to the current Michigan medical marijuana program. So from what I see, the ballot language, this would not affect the current medical program. The current medical program would operate autonomously from this program and be completely separate. But all things can change, will change. We'll see what changes, and we'll let you know what they are when they come. But at any rate, I think this is definitely a petition that you can support. Read it for yourself, make your own decisions, and check it out. All right? So that's what's up with Michigan. I think that's pretty exciting. A lot of folks have talked about, the new medical marijuana program, which is yet to be implemented. State's still working on it. We've talked about that here in the program before. Nothing new has changed. They have not rescheduled a new meeting yet for the public to attend to talk about the development of the board, the development of the rules for the new medical marijuana program. Hasn't happened yet. But obviously you can see how piggybacking on this new program is the push for recreational marijuana. It's right there behind it as predicted. So we'll keep you guys tuned. We'll let you know what's happening. I think it's a good thing. Check it out. Like I said, make your own decisions, okay? One thing I think I want to draw your attention to, and this is a different state, moving on to a new story, is Ohio. Okay? Ohio's got a new program going on. It is for medical marijuana. We've talked about Ohio on this program, and obviously Ohio's not that far away, just next state south. Ohio has a medical marijuana program. They are trying to implement it, but really what's happening in Ohio is a monopoly, an oligarchy, if you will. It's gross, to say the least. And I think it is very telling when you look at other states and then compare it back to Ohio. So let's get into Ohio a little bit. They passed their law, and now they are trying to issue licenses. According to the latest reports, there were only, I believe, 25, let me pull this up here, 25 or 28 licenses that would be allowed by Ohio. So there's a very, very limited amount of licenses that are going to be issued for production and for distribution of marijuana, medical marijuana, in Ohio. They had a massive outpouring of applications at the start of the program. I believe they received over 180 different applications for businesses. And you have to understand that these businesses are paying fees just to apply. So these are serious contenders, people who really feel strongly that they're ready to proceed with the medical marijuana industry in Ohio. However, yet obviously there's going to be a whole heck of a lot of no's if they're only going to allow a very limited number, less than 30 places to service the entire state of Ohio. And I made a comment earlier about comparing other states to Ohio, and that's what I want to do. I want to compare Nevada, which is already had medical marijuana, and now they just recently rolled out recreational marijuana. So we're talking about regular adult use being just rolled out in Nevada. This was less than a week ago, really, and for adult use. So they already passed law. Now shops are actually opening up the door for business. They had such an outpouring in Nevada more than even the industry itself expected. They are literally wiping the inventory off from the shelves. These producers and distributors of marijuana are limited by their state production limits, laws, requirements, regulations, if you will, and they are passing an emergency bill to allow for more places to produce more weed. And I think that is just phenomenal for the industry, of course, but it is amazing to see the demand that is there for this product. And when you come back and you look to a state like Ohio, granted we're comparing recreational to a medical market, but even if we make an accurate analogy here, you can see how Ohio's plan really is a poor plan. It's not going to provide the relief that everyone is looking for there in Ohio, and it really is short-sighted. I know that they're trying to protect their monopoly and their money and so on and so forth, but obviously there is more business there than what these businesses, at least in Nevada, what they were able to handle, what they were prepared for. Now, of course, a lot of naysayers may say that, well, this is just the initial opening. There's a lot of hype. People are now getting access to something that was previously prohibited, so it's going to create a sort of Fox demand. I don't know that that's necessarily the case. I think that the industry is yet to see long-term numbers to make accurate predictions based on statistics. We don't have that information relevant. We don't have that information readily available. And I think that also the obviously when it comes to the state government getting involved and mandating how much can be produced, how much can be held in inventory, how much can be retailed out. Clearly the government doesn't have a handle on this either. So it is interesting to see how certain states continue to blunder, if you will, through their own legislation with blinders on, if you will, not paying attention to what's going on around them, not looking at previous examples of where it's already happened and taken place and using that information to their benefit. We don't see that happening. Clearly Ohio is an example of that, and Michigan to a degree is an example of that as well. So hopefully, as we continue to move forward right here in our own state, we can start to extrapolate this information and use it to our advantage, hopefully opening the eyes of our legislators enough to see where the waste is not needed. I mean, and when we're paying for research on things that have already been figured out, that type of stuff is just complete nonsense. And in my opinion, we're just padding someone's pocket. And we don't need that. We don't have the excess for that here in Michigan. Our economy doesn't have the extra money laying around. There's no extra money in the budget for this type of stuff. And you have to also understand Nevada's response to that, I think, is the appropriate one. They're running out. They're recognizing that the regulations were subpar. They were not enough to meet the market demand, and so they're immediately recognizing that and potentially doing something about it. So I think I would give Nevada's government kudos for at least doing that, but I'd still give them a negative remark for being behind the ball at the get-go anyways. I mean, that's something that could have been prevented potentially. I mean, you got Colorado right next to it, so let's be real. So, all right, so that's what's going on in Nevada, that's what's going on in Ohio, that's what's going on in Michigan. I mean, those are the biggest stories I've got for you right now. I think that it's very interesting seeing the development of the petition here in Michigan. I think a lot of folks would agree with me when I say that the medical marijuana program that was just passed into law this last year was really just a foreshadowing of the recreational market opening up here in Michigan. And when I see that we're using paid signature collectors out there, so obviously somebody's got enough money somewhere to pay these guys, and you have to realize that's either $1 up to $2 a signature. That's a lot of money that's being doled out. Probably not to any one individual, of course, but overall they're spending some money here, so it obviously has some support. And I predicted this back when they were going at it at the very beginning, before the law was passed, that was going to happen. I think you can see that that's probably going to come to fruition. So it'll be interesting to watch Michigan. Nothing's happened yet. We got the summer break coming up for our legislators. I don't see them doing a whole lot here in Michigan anytime soon. Be on the lookout for those petitions, though. I think that's something that's exciting and something that you can take a part in. We just got done celebrating 4th of July here and the beautiful wonderfulness that it is our country. In spite of everything else you might think or feel, this is still the best place to live. I mean, you go ahead and move to the Netherlands if you really think it's that much greater, but this is still the best place to meet. And part of that is being able to take part in our government, to be able to direct the way that things should go. And I know that lobbying and corporatism have really taken over and really have the say, if you will, but there's still room for the everyday common man and for the small person's voice. There's still room for that. So I'd encourage you to take part, be a part, and be encouraged to continue pressing on and to try to make a difference even when you think it won't, because it does. Individual differences add up. All right, so that's my positive encouragement for the day. I hope you guys love it. I love you. All right, thanks for joining me on the podcast this week. It's been good. Be back here at allpointstv.com. Please check out all the other podcasts for the important information they have about your city right here in Flint, what's going on in Michigan. It's a beautiful thing. So, John, thanks for being with me in the studio today. I love it. Love the background. Love you guys. Have a great week. See you next week here on the Genesee County Compassion Club show. See you.